All right, so then we're going to get down to some of the other pieces here, which is the publisher preferences. So what this is related to is anytime that you have an empty MXD, these are the values that are going to be set. They're going to be set to it. Now you can always adjust these, which we'll show in a little bit. But by default, these are the values that are going to be set. They're going to be applied to the MXD when it's brand new. So in here, there's an export and a view. We're going to talk about the export map options first. So a little bit about hyperlink documents, whether you want to include them in the GeoPDF as separate pages, or you can create a zip file that is attached with it. You can open up the GeoPDFs after the creation. You can create layered GeoPDF files, optimize the GeoPDF file size. You set the compatibility of our toolbar. All of these items, I just go ahead and leave as default. The toolbar, OGC preferred, and specifically, it's just easier to just use it in that setting. The next section of this dialog is called image options. So this is for the raster. So you can set a resolution as far as the DPI, a color mode, whether it's true color or grayscale, the JPEG quality or compression, and then whether or not it's going to do pyramids. So the resolution, the JPEG quality, and the color mode, all those items are really kind of dependent upon the sources that you're going to be utilizing, and what the quality of the output that you want to share with your users, is kind of a balancing scheme between the resolution of that raster and the size of the GeoPDF file. So there is no, there's no specific values for these things. It's more just, you're going to have to play with it a little bit depending on the sources that you've got. The next one on the list is vector options. So this is related to all those vector layers that you've got out there. So we're going to compress the vector graphics, convective marker symbols, and polygons. All this has to do with is the symbology. So we're trying to optimize the symbology in the GeoPDF as best we can. So we'll go ahead and leave all those on. Embed all document fonts. This is a kind of an important one because although I've got ESRI installed on my machine, those folks that are those end users that you're going to be sending this output to may not. So it's going to be important that you pack up those fonts that you've used in your symbology with the GeoPDF. So that's how we would embed those into the final product. The resolution on the vector graphics, I usually put that around 1600. Again, there's no steadfast rule here. You can kind of play with it a little bit as far as the values. If you've got, depending on the scale of your map and the complexity of your symbology, this may go up or down depending on those factors. Destination color place, again, is we've defaulted that to red, green, blue, but you can also use the CMYK as well. And then one of the last things here is the attributes. So when you're doing an export of the GeoPDF, we allow you a couple of different options. Obviously, you don't have to export the attributes with the GeoPDF. And then your other two options are object data, which is an Adobe functionality that TerraGo Toolbars interacts with. And then finally, TerraGo has put into place a thing called GeoPackage that's kind of become a new industry standard as far as, so what we do is we clip the vector data to the geospatial area or the neat line, and then we pack all of that vector data and the attributes into a small geo database, or basically a database that you can then send along with the GeoPDF. So the data is there. We can interact with the GeoPackage with our toolbar, but then you can also detach the GeoPackage and send that off to for other purposes. if that's something you're interested in doing. And then finally, the picture symbol on the symbology. Again, if you're using complex symbology on your layers, this is something you can use. There's a couple of different options in here. I typically just default it to this rasterized layers with any picture and marker fill. That usually does the trick. There's some additional information in the help file to kind of delineate between those three options. So with that, I'm going to shift over to the View tab. And then in here, there's a couple of different things that we can do here. So you can default clip the geospatial intelligence to a thing called a map frame, or could also be called a neat line, or you can do the whole page. So in instances where you've got a lot of marginalia, maybe a legend, some scale bars, those kinds of things, you'd want to leave the geospatial intelligence within the map frame itself. If you don't have the marginalia that most folks do, then you can obviously just use the entire page. That's fine too. Instances where you've got multiple map frames, we give the user the ability to only export out that larger map frame, or you can automatically select all the map frames, or disable the automatic selection, and you can actually choose which one you want exported. So there's some items in here. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK here.